Gray with another question. This one might be kind of long. So, somebody asked, "What do you think about journaling?" Um, I mean, in and of itself, journaling is what journaling is. Writing stuff down. Good or bad, it depends on the context. A lot of dojo is not about meatball surgery. It's more, we're trying to get more specific. It tends to, the work in dojo, de-self identifying, building new characters, creating experiments, tends to run better, to be more effective if there's more nuance in it. If you have taken these broad, general ideas, statements, feelings, desires, and funneled them down, made them more specific. It works better. It's like going into a regular physical gym and saying, "Oh, I want to have big arms. I want my arms to be bigger." That's a big general statement. And how you work, how you start identifying and working on the particular parts of your arm, that's a whole nother story. So if you're going in and you're just running around the equipment trying to get big arms without sitting down and actually trying to figure out what the particular parts of your arms are, how to most effectively exercise them, in what order, which to give precedence, there's lots and lots of nuances there. So in dojo, nuances help. So in terms of that, journaling can be a great way for you to develop nuances when looking at yourself, both your history, your desires, exactly what you want. It helps. It can. Other people can. Some people can just scribble all day and not do anything. But in terms of journaling, with a desire to step back from your process or step back from whatever it is that's going on, and as a way of developing nuance, it can be incredibly helpful. You walk in and say, "I want more intimacy with women." Wow, huge, general, vague desire. Not undoable, but when you walk in with that desire, it's hard to work with something that big and that vague. So you start funneling it down and you say, "Oh, okay, so what does intimacy mean? What does woman mean? In what setting? What's your previous history around intimacy with women?" And all of this stuff you can journal about. I personally, I don't want to be the object of your journaling. I don't want you to talk to me as if you're journaling. I would rather you go journal, or think or do something, highlight the relevant parts, and then bring the highlights to me. That's a lot better. Listening to the stories and stuff, I don't really care why your arm is the way it is or how it got there, unless there's something really significant there. I just want to say, what part of your arm do you want to work out? Do you want bigger biceps? Do you want to match it with the triceps? How's your grip strength? And what have you done before in the way of working out? What's worked? What hasn't worked? So it's the specific details about it. And I personally have done both sides of it. I've done the journaling where it was just like rambling and storytelling, and I go back through it and read it, and this is like, and then I've used journaling to drill down, to funnel down, and say, okay, this is what when I talk about intimacy with women, what am I really talking about? At first blush, back in the day, it was about fucking. That's what intimacy with a woman. I want more intimacy with a woman. Back in my Navy days, straight up, I want to fuck more, and I want to fuck women more. Women of a particular kind more. I want this to happen more often. These days, a completely different orientation around that. And so it helps. It helps to winnow it down. And so you're either looking at, is it physical intimacy? Is it day-to-day intimacy? Is it spiritual intimacy? Is it energetic intimacy? What does it actually mean? What does intimacy mean to you? What does a woman mean to you? So yes, journaling is a great tool sometimes. And again, it's like journaling seen through the dojo lens. Okay? This isn't journaling as a thing. It's through the dojo lens that it can be a really good thing sometimes, and other times it can be a complete waste of your time from a dojo perspective. I always enjoyed, my stories coming out. the first couple of times. So. Okay, that wraps up another one. Keep the questions coming. Really? Yeah. It's a great way to spend a Sunday morning. Ciao.